Hi, let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself. When was the last time someone asked you how you were doing, actually doing, and you told them the truth, not the version you perform, not the "I'm fine, everything's great" that comes out automatically like a reflex. The real answer, the one where you actually say what's going on inside. I'll wait. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because if you're a people pleaser, and if you're watching this, there's a good chance you are. You have spent your entire life becoming an expert at everyone else's emotions. You know when someone's upset before they say a word. You can read a room the second you walk in. You know exactly what to say to make someone feel better, to smooth things over, to keep the peace. You are incredibly, painfully good at taking care of other people. But somewhere along the way, you completely forgot to take care of yourself. And today, we're going to talk about why. Not on the surface. Not just set boundaries. We're going deep. Into your brain. Into why you are literally wired this way. And into what it's actually costing you. Because nobody's been honest with you about that part yet. First, let's be clear. This isn't a personality flaw. Before we go any further, I need you to hear this. People-pleasing is not a character flaw. It's not weakness. It's not you being too nice. And it is absolutely not something you chose. Your brain did this to you. Here's how. There's a part of your brain called the amygdala. It's your brain's alarm system. It's responsible for detecting threats, danger, rejection, conflict. And in people-pleasers, the amygdala is hyperactive. It is constantly scanning for signs that someone around you is unhappy, upset, or disappointed. And every single time it detects even a hint of that, it sends a full-on panic signal, not a gentle nudge, a panic signal, like a 5-alarm fire going off inside your chest. And your brain's immediate solution? Fix it, make them happy, say yes, smooth it over. Do whatever it takes to make that alarm stop. So when you say yes to something you don't want to do, when you swallow your anger, when you put everyone before yourself, you're not doing it because you're a pushover. You're doing it because your brain is literally screaming at you that if you don't, something terrible is going to happen. It's survival mode. It's been survival mode your whole life. And most of the time, you don't even realize you're in it. But why? Why is your amygdala like this? Why does your brain react so intensely to other people's emotions? For most people pleasers, it starts early, really early. Think back. Think about growing up. Was there someone in your life, a parent, a family member, anyone, whose mood you were constantly responsible for? Someone whose anger you had to avoid. Someone you had to keep happy or things got uncomfortable. Someone whose love felt conditional. Like it was there when you were good, when you were easy, when you didn't cause problems. And gone, or colder, when you weren't. That's where it starts. When you're a kid and your emotional safety depends on keeping someone else happy, your brain learns a very specific lesson. It learns, my feelings don't matter. Other people's feelings are the ones that keep me safe. And that lesson gets burned into your neural pathways so deep that it follows you into adulthood like a program you never consented to download. You grow up, you leave that environment, but the programming stays. Because your brain doesn't know the difference between then and now, it still thinks the threat is real. It still thinks that if you don't keep everyone happy, something is going to fall apart. So you keep doing it, not because you're weak. Because your brain never got the memo that the danger is over. And here's where we need to get real. Because this is the part nobody wants to say out loud. People-pleasing is destroying you. Quietly. Slowly. And you can't see it happening because you're too busy making sure everyone else is okay. Let's start with your relationships. Think about it. If you have never once told someone close to you what you actually feel, your real opinion, your real needs, your real boundaries, then they don't actually know you. They know the version of you that you built to keep them comfortable. And one day, when the real you finally cracks through, when the resentment builds up so high that it spills out, they're going to be shocked. They're going to say, "Where did this come from? You seemed fine." And you're going to realize you spent years with people who didn't actually know you at all because you never let them. That's lonely. That's incredibly lonely. Even when you're surrounded by people who love you. Now let's talk about resentment, because this is the big one that people pleasers don't want to admit. Every single time you say yes when you mean no, every time you put someone else first at the cost of yourself, a tiny seed of resentment gets planted. And over time, those seeds grow into anger, into bitterness, into a deep, simmering frustration that you can't even explain because on the surface everything looks fine. You're the nice one, the helpful one, the one who always shows up. So why do you feel so angry all the time? Because you've been giving and giving and giving, and nobody, not even you, has ever stopped to ask what you need. And then there's the biggest cost of all, your identity. When you spend your entire life performing for other people, shaping yourself around what they want, what they need, what makes them comfortable, you lose track of who you actually are. Your own desires get buried so deep you can't even find them anymore. Someone asks you what you want for dinner and you genuinely don't know. Not because you don't care. Because you've spent so long caring about what everyone else wants that your own preferences became invisible to you. You became a mirror, reflecting everyone else back to them. But nobody ever looked at what was behind the mirror. There's a moment, and if you're a people pleaser, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the moment when someone finally pushes you too far. When you've been swallowing it and swallowing it and swallowing it, and one day, over something small, something stupid, it all comes out. And you explode, and everyone around you is stunned. Why are you reacting like this? It's not that serious, but it's not about that one thing. It's about everything. Every single time you held your tongue, every single time you smiled when you wanted to scream, every single time you put yourself last. It all built up, and it had to go somewhere. And after that moment, you feel guilty. Not them, you. You feel guilty for having a reaction. For finally expressing what you actually feel. Because your brain has been trained your entire life to believe that your emotions are the problem. That your needs are inconvenient. That the moment you take up space, you're being too much. And that guilt, that's the cage. That's the thing that keeps you stuck. Because as long as you believe your own feelings are the problem, you will never stop putting everyone else first. Ever. Okay. So now you know why. You know what it's costing you. And I know what you're thinking. Great. So how do I actually fix this? Not set boundaries. Everyone says that. Nobody explains what it actually means when your entire brain is wired to avoid conflict. So here's what actually works. The first thing you have to do is start noticing. Before you can change anything, you have to see it happening in real time. The next time someone asks you to do something and you feel that familiar rush, that "oh God, I have to say yes," or something bad will happen feeling, pause. Just pause. Don't say yes yet. Notice the feeling. Notice that it's there. You don't have to do anything about it yet. Just see it. Because most people pleasers are on autopilot. They say yes before they even register that they didn't want to. Awareness is step one. The second thing, and this is uncomfortable, you have to start disappointing people. On purpose. Small things at first. Say no to something small, something low stakes, and then sit with the discomfort. Because your brain is going to scream at you. It's going to tell you you're being selfish, that you're a bad person, that they're going to be upset with you. And here's the thing. Some people might actually be upset, and that's okay. Because their discomfort with you having needs is not your responsibility. It never was. The third thing, and this is the real game changer, you have to start asking yourself one question before you respond to anything. Not will they be okay with this? Not what do they need? The question is, what do I actually want? That's it. Just that. It sounds simple. For a people pleaser, it might be the hardest question you've ever been asked, because you might not even have an answer. And that's okay. That just means you have to practice. Every day, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want? Until your own voice starts getting louder than the one that's been running the show your whole life. Here's what I want you to take away from this. You are not too much. You are not too sensitive. You are not a burden for having needs. You have been carrying the weight of other people's emotions your entire life and calling it kindness. But real kindness includes yourself. And the version of you that finally says no, that finally puts yourself first, that finally stops performing. That's not a worse version of you. That's the real one. The one that's been buried under years of people pleasing. The one that actually has opinions, desires, boundaries, and a life that belongs to them. You deserve to meet that person, and so does everyone who actually loves you. Because here's the thing nobody tells you. The people worth keeping, they don't want the performance. They want the real you, even the parts that are messy, even the parts that say no, especially those parts. So stop disappearing into other people's lives. It's time to show up in your own. If this video hit you in a way you weren't expecting, if you recognized yourself in any of this, share it. Not for me, for you. Because there's someone in your life right now who needs to hear this and doesn't know it exists yet. And if you want to go deeper, specifically how to rebuild your identity after years of people pleasing, how to actually figure out who you are when you've spent your whole life being who everyone else needed you to be, that's the next video. It's personal, it's real, and it might be the most important thing you watch this year.